What's going on, people? How you feeling? This is the new show from the Film Review, movies, music, culture, politics, society podcast entitled Let's Talk DJing. This is the first show we are broadcasting live over Vimeo, and we're broadcasting live over a certain social media site that says they don't need advertisement, so why would we even advertise them, right? Okay, so we have our special guest. First of all, Let's Talk DJing is about the technique, the skills, the music utilized, and how to rock a party. And you know, I come from Cleveland, Ohio, and Cleveland, Ohio has some of the best party rocking DJs that do all kinds of ability that you don't see the average DJ from other cities do. So why not start with one of the pioneers in the game, right? One of the ones that, I used to listen to, on club style. And why not start with that person first? Plus, let me tell you, we're talking about none other than DJ Centipede, right? So DJ Centipede, when I first met him, I met him out at Wood Hill Park, right? And at that time, I had the double mix CD called Cleveland Is Mine, Saith the Lord, the hip hop, the gospel according to hip hop, all the records that made up what pushed Cleveland hip hop forward that we heard back during the club style days, all the way up to the modern era at that time in '96. And when I met him out at the park, I was like, somebody introduced us, and he said Lord D, because I introduced myself as Crazy D, but he said Lord D, and to this day he's been a consistent type dude. And so we're getting ready to bring him in 1 second, right? So, and we're going to be talking about DJing, his techniques about going about doing it. And so let me bring him, there we are. There we go. Okay, now we're getting better. Now we're getting to it. Okay, say something. Test the mic for me. Test me so I can get your level. I'm going to have to turn you up.
Lord D.
There we go.
D, what's good?
Okay, let's see. You're going in and out. Let me bring you up a little bit.
All right.
There we go. Okay, I think we got you. So, ladies and gentlemen, on screen right now is none other than DJ Centipede, right? From the Regim Nation, the Regim Squad DJs. That's Cleveland, Atlanta, North Carolina, global, worldwide, building a nation. So how you doing, first of all, today?
Lord D, man, I'm well. How about you, bro? How about you?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm doing good under the circumstances. We're in that COVID-19 and everything. But first off, what's North Carolina like? What's happening? What's the shutdown like? We always ask on the Film Review when we talk to people in different states, what's the government situation? What are the people doing? Are they following the rules?
First off, man, let me just say, man, I'm glad to be on the show. It's an honor and a pleasure. Appreciate this, you know what I'm saying? And thanks for that awesome intro, you know what I'm saying? Besides that, everybody here, man, some people you see might have on a mask. Then you got some assholes that's not wearing them, you know what I'm saying? So, for the most part, I would say people in Charlotte, I'm in Charlotte. Let me say I'm in Charlotte, first of all. I'm not, I don't know about the rest of the Carolinas, but here in Charlotte, you got some people wearing masks. Majority of the older people.
Okay.
But, the young cats, you don't see them in masks or gloves or nothing like that. Hey, they assholes. So Hey, let's pray for them. You know what I'm saying? All I gotta say.
Let's pray for them. I understand that. I understand that. So,
Yeah.
what made you choose North Carolina coming from Cleveland, Ohio?
Well, I got a son, man. My youngest son was he was an aspiring actor. So Charlotte is up and coming, and it's like number 4, you know, in the acting industry. So this is where we came instead of going to LA, New York, or Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Those the other 3. So we got here in Charlotte, you know, and relocated here and just make it work.
Mm. And Charlotte, North Carolina as a whole is like, or Charlotte is like the new chocolate city. You know, like when we were younger, Funkadelic talked about DC being chocolate city, but now North Carolina as a state is now becoming like a chocolate state or chocolate city.
I would say that, yeah, definitely. I mean, because I remember in the '90s, we pretty much was saying Atlanta was, you know. So now Charlotte is pretty much that up and coming thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would definitely say that. Yeah.
Because I had a church buddy who had moved like in the early '90s, and he was coming back. He had said he was into real estate, and that the real estate market, like they talked about Atlanta. This was around like '99, and he was like, they were talking about Atlanta, but Chris D, you need to move to North Carolina, and because that's chocolate city. And I was like, we moved.
Yeah, the banking industry.
Go ahead.
The banking industry is really popular here. You know what I'm saying? So if you into mortgages or banking, you know what I'm saying, Charlotte is definitely where you need to be.
Okay. So now that we got that out that way, let's get down to what we're talking about. Let's talk DJing. Skill, technique, music selection, and how to go about rocking a party. So let's go back a ways in your history and your development in the hip hop. What was the first hip hop record that you heard that made you say, because everyone was coming from out of R&B and soul. So what was that first hip hop record that you heard that you said, this is it?
Well, it was 2. Well, the first one that made me actually like hip hop was Rappers Delight.
Okay.
But what made me get into it on the DJ side of it was the Adventures of Grandmaster Flash. I was like, whoa, this is deep right here. You know what I'm saying? So got into that song. That would inspire me to want to be a DJ.
And so what was it about it? Let's talk about technique and style. What was it about what Grandmaster Flash did on the record that made you know? Because out of all of the hip hop, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 was driven by the DJ. And then the MCs were, of course, equally yoked, but it was definitely driven by Grandmaster Flash.
Yeah. True. So for me, definitely, let me just say, at that time, that was the only like song that I heard that it had an actual DJ doing cutting and scratch and the different songs that he was mixing in that. So that right there caught my ear, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, whoa, this dude is nice, you know, and it was flawless. So that right there just caught me, and I was like, damn, I think this DJ thing is really what I wanted to pursue at that time, you know. It was just phenomenal how you put that together, you know.
So you heard
Thought it was dope.
you heard it on record. Had you ever seen, of course there were DJs, but they were pretty much more like blending in, like at the end and transitioning records like what they would do on the radio. Had you heard or seen any DJs cutting and scratching like Flash at that time before you heard Flash?
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because I have not even seen Grandmaster Flash at that time. I never knew what this guy looked like.
Mm-hmm.
So when I actually heard this song, yes, I wanted to do some research. Yes, I wanted to find out who he was, but I didn't have any knowledge or any type of way of finding how to, find any history on Grandmaster Flash at that time. Okay. So what was next for me was listening to the radio, you know what I'm saying? And that's when I started hearing this cutting and scratching thing again,
Okay.
And,
what year was that?
When I started listening to the radio, that's when Club Style came out. Okay. So I want to say it was like in the 83.
Okay.
83, yeah, about 83. 82, 83, yeah. So that's when I was hearing, these other DJs up there doing their thing, and I was like, oh shoot, I done. This is what Grandmaster Flash was doing, you know what I'm saying? So that caught my ear again. So I said, okay, this is the route I want to go, So,
so
caught my ear again.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, so that Club Style made me tune in more often, so I could hear more DJs. You know what I'm saying? So that caught my ear. I knew it was something about the way they put these records together that I wanted to do this. So mind you, now I never seen a DJ live yet.
Okay.
So this was just something that, before this DJ thing, I was like a dancer, not per se a break dancer, okay, but somebody that did the pop locking and the ticking type thing. Okay, so
you had a
that's
crew.
what I was doing.
You had a crew.
Say that again.
You had a crew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, what was the name of your? Okay, wait a minute. Let's go back a little bit further. Okay. Okay. Pulling back the layers of the onion. Okay, here we go, people. Let's talk DJing. There's always a root. There's a root to the rhythm. Rhythm is very important to being a DJ. If you don't have rhythm, you're not gonna be able to you're not gonna even know how to connect. So let's go back. What was the name of your dance crew?
We were Pop Lock Productions.
Pop Lock Productions. So you had seen, I guess, Wild Style or breaking at that time, and was that what influenced you, or was it just the music?
It was more like the music, because when we were doing it, those movies weren't out then at the time.
Okay.
So those movies came out a little later on down the line, and when that breaking stuff came up.
I need to know the years. What years did you start the pop locking?
Oh shoot, we talking about like junior high stuff. I think maybe that 1980. I want to say 80, 81. Yeah. So we talking about back then.
So you were hearing those records from California, like California knows how to party, and they were talking about the pop locking and tick crews from out of there, and also there was Soul Train with Rerun and his pop lock crew. Would you say you were influenced by that?
I think I was probably more influenced on the West Coast part of it, not per se what Rerun was doing, but pretty much what the West Coast guys were doing. Yeah, because that ticking, something about the ticking was and waving was caught my eye. You know what I'm saying? So, and then in my neighborhood, we had a lot of guys that was doing that too, and inside of the schoolhouse, so you had to be kind of dope in the schoolhouse doing that thing too, you know.
Mm-hmm. So there were records. Let's see what records came out then. I Am an Arcade Funk Machine. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So definitely too. A lot of Kraftwerk, Man Machine, Planet Rock, Houdini's Magic Wand. You know what I'm saying? So it was a few bangers back then. You know that we was rocking to. You know.
So
what's other?
Would you say that Kraftwerk was hip hop or more techno hop at the time, or developed into techno hop? Because hip hop wasn't a category then, but we were using those electronic techno sounds to come up with different dance moves. What would you categorize that time as?
Man, to me, man, we just call it popping music, waving music. We just put on the beats and just rock. We didn't really have no names for those beats because we didn't know what it was. Okay. We just knew it felt good to us. It felt good to us, and it was something that we had to express in our soul, that this music wasn't even played that much on the radio. You know what I'm saying? So this was some of the beats that we wanted to bring to life. Mm-hmm, so we didn't know what it was. It was just like, put on that breaking cut, that song we could pop to, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it was.
So you had battles amongst, because this leads into later with the mixed massacres, right? So you had battles. Did you have battles then when you were dancing? It leads into later, a couple of decades later, producing something.
Yeah, yes, sir. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. I know your phone is ringing.
Oh, okay.
I'm hearing that real loud, but it's nothing we can do about it, so don't worry about that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, because it seemed like my volume went down with you. I don't know what happened.
Okay, I'm hearing you clear. I'm coming out clear. We're pushing. You're pushing. So we're cool. But you saying you can't hear me?
Yeah, you're not as louder as you was earlier. I don't know what happened.
Oh, okay. Well, but you can still hear me.
Yeah, a little bit. Not as loud as you were.
Okay. I don't know, because everything
is there a way we can kind of? Okay, let's rock with it. If I say it again, that means I can't hear you. You know.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, so let's move forward. You hear Rapper's Delight. You hear Grandmaster Flash, right? When did you first go from hearing a DJ to seeing a DJ? Actually cutting and scratching.
I never really heard a DJ cut and scratch until my mom hired Coach Cheese for one of my birthday parties.
Okay. Okay, so Coach Cheese by that time had been on Club Style.
Yeah.
Right? So you were automatically pumped that your mom had the hookup to even hire Coach Cheese, and everybody flocked to your birthday party, right? Because Cheese was there.
Well, she didn't have to connect. I had to connect.
Okay, let's explain that. Go ahead.
No, see what it was I was a Club Style head, junkie. So I'm always tuned into Club Style. So, hey, at the end of his show, he gave out his phone number. If you want to contact him for any type of event, whatever, shit, I wrote it down, jotted that thing down. I said, Mom, we got to get this guy for my party. I need him to do my party. She said, okay. And that was it. She hired him, and Hey, yeah, I was that kid on the block then. I had Coach Cheese at my event. I was that dude.
Okay, so I know that you were going over and checking out his setup. What was his setup like? This was dealing to his technique and his skill. What did his equipment look like? How large was his monitors? Like, lay out what you saw.
Okay. So at this time, I'm about a good 15, 16 years old. So what caught my eye, I want to say, was the way he was doing that stuff. I don't even know if he had techniques then. I don't remember. I can't say I remember what type of mixer he had. Because like I said, I was young. I don't even know what I was looking at. I know he had some big ass speakers. He had 2 turntables and a mixer, you know, and I know he was just rocking out on them, you know what I'm saying? So, whatever he had, man, it was bumping, you know what I'm saying? He did this one too. So, but what caught my eye the most was this guy wasn't just he wasn't just a DJ, you know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that was the way he moved the crowd as a rapper too, you know. And I thought the whole time when I was listening to him on the radio, you know, I heard the way he was cutting and scratching, and I heard, you know, when he would say a rhyme every now and then or rap every now and then. But when I actually had a chance to see it live, it was more of he was moving the crowd with the things he was saying, as well as the way he was mixing and cutting and scratching, what he called it swiping. You know, he was swiping then, you know, so that was his term, you know. Yeah. So that what caught my eye. I was like, wow, this dude really is moving the crowd, you know, make him say ho, make him say ow. And I was like, oh man, this is what I want to do, you know what I'm saying? I thought it was dope, you know. If a guy can get on a mic and make people say what he wanted them to say, I thought that was dope, you know. So and plus he played those cuts that made the crowd go, oh, you know. So I was like, oh, okay, so that's what caught my eye and my ear at the same time. So I knew that's what I wanted to do.
So automatically you were the man going back to school that Monday, or if it was summertime,
yes,
you were the man.
Oh yes. Not to mention all the money I made at the party.
Oh, wait a minute. His birthday was not only to celebrate, but it was a way to have economics. See, it's this right here. Talked about
mind you, this was a house party.
Okay.
Now, guess how much it cost to get in?
Let's say I would say $2, but I'll say about $5. $1. Okay. And
hey, I thought I was rich.
Okay.
I had a pocket full of ones and a pocket full of quarters.
See, it's always the stories about how the parents are down with what the children are doing that breeds and brings about success, right? So let's move forward. So you saw Coach Cheese, you've heard him over the radio, you heard Grandmaster Flash, you heard Rapper's Delight. When did you first get your hands on some turntables? And then how long did it take to develop your style?
Okay, so this was like my I want to say, okay, so it was a guy by the name of Antoine T.
Okay.
who actually was a protege of Coach Cheese.
Okay.
We went to school together, and he was a DJ, up at the school, and I saw him doing his thing, and I just asked him like, "Hey, could you show me how to do that?" And he said, "Yeah." So it was him and another guy named was Dude, and we was actually at Dude's house, and that was the day, that was where we just all practiced at. And this was, man, when was this? Like about 80, I want to say 3, maybe 83, something like that. And that's 83. Yeah, about a good 83. So that's when I first got my hands on some turntables, trying to learn something. But it took me a while to develop my own style, So as I branched off from him, that's when I ran into Dave Cheese.
Okay. So
I ran into Dave Cheese. So it was Dave Cheese, Tonto, which is this guy named Rand. We all went to school together, and we came up with the group Supreme Team.
Okay, so now
this is up at John Adams.
Okay, right. So I was going to say, so this is high school at this point. Okay, all right.
High school, yeah.
Yeah.
So all of this was like high school, Okay. So I think I kind of developed my style with the Supreme Team, but I didn't really kind of perfect it as of yet, because I was still, I still was learning at the time.
Okay.
So I learned a lot from Dave Cheese as well, and Rand. I learned a lot from those guys as well. So I didn't really pretty much come up with my own style until I left Supreme Team and started MKM. So that's when I developed my own style.
Okay. So when you first started, did you work on blending first, or cutting back and forth, or swiping?
Okay, could you say that again?
Okay. When you first started, did you work on blending beats, transitioning records, or did you work on swiping or cutting back and forth?
Okay, when I first started, it definitely was blending.
Okay.
Definitely blending. We called it mixing, so
okay.
It definitely was mixing first.
Okay.
And then it was when I got with Dave Cheese, he was like so ahead of the time. This boy was cutting and swiping. It was like on point.
I'm with you. I hear you. What's wrong?
So your phone is coming in and out. I can't hear you.
You can't? Oh man, everything is coming through clear. Everything is perfect. Can you hear me now? No?
Yeah, okay, I can hear you a little bit. Maybe the video is pretty much like pausing.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Not on this end. Let's see. Whatever I'm recording, whatever happens, I'm recording, so it matters not.
Okay, go ahead. I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So you got with Dave Cheese, and he was ahead of the board. So then you started MKM, right? So how does that kick off, and where did you take it from there?
Okay, so after I left the Supreme Team, I started MKM. MKM also was we was on Club Style as well, and we pretty much did our thing, man. Like in the late '80s, going into the '90s, we just tried to make it a household name in our hood, So MKM went a long way, bro. So I mean, we had DJs in my group that you might be familiar with is DJ Ice from Bone Thugs and Harmony. He was definitely one of the founding members of MKM.
Mm-hmm.
And Corn and Silk Smooth was the other founding members of MKM.
Okay.
And we just kind of pretty much just did what we could do, like, you know, a lot of parties, cabarets, private events. You know, we try to do as much stuff as we can.
Okay. And was this the era of then competition with different crews? It went from dance crews competition to DJ crew competitions. And let's describe that era in Cleveland.
It really wasn't too much like crews battling each other. You know, it was more like individual DJs battling each other. You know what I'm saying? So I don't remember any crews I could say that pretty much battled back in the day.
Okay.
You know, it was more like individuals pretty much battling each other.
Okay. So when is MKM's first big break where you say we have arrived? Was it a club party? Was it a hall party? What was it?
It was club style.
Okay. Let's
club style will put MKM on the map.
Okay, so what did you do?
Club style put everybody on the map.
Okay, so you submitted a cassette to Dean, and how did that go? And talk about that phone call.
I didn't submit because Dean already was familiar with me from the Supreme team.
Okay.
So I didn't really have to submit anything. He just gave me a date and we just went up there and rocked out.
Okay. And so what was that like? It's your organization this time, or co-founder.
Say that again?
What was that like? It's your organization, you're a co-founder. What was that like to go on air and proclaim MKM, Master Capper Mixers?
Well, it was dope, man, because I had a whole new sound. You know what I'm saying? I had Ice, and I had Corn and Silk. These guys was like new; they never been on club style, so it was dope. You know what I'm saying? I was bringing something new to the table, and I just couldn't wait for the I want to say for the world to hear it, but for whoever was listening to club style, definitely Cleveland to hear it. I just wanted to bring something new and different to the table, and that right there, man, it was dope for me. You know what I'm saying? To bring that so people could check it out. That was dope for me.
Okay. So moving through, so then after that you start having hall parties, banquet hall parties.
Yeah, we did like a lot of. I mean, house parties was so big back in the 80s. You know, that's all we did because we all were young in our teens and early 20s. So we did a lot of house parties. Definitely coming up into the cabarets. We were getting there, but we wasn't as big in the cabarets. We did like a lot of house parties and a lot of like high school dances and proms and stuff like that because we were still super young at the time. So that's what we basically that's what we did back then.
Mm-hmm. So at this time, you've developed your style. So what was the technique of MKM? How did you set up to go about rocking parties? You talked about how Coach Cheese moved the crowd. What was your technique? What was your crew's technique to move the crowd?
For us, it was pretty much like each DJ. We would kind of rotate through the course of the night. So each DJ would get up there and rock out, and somebody else would grab the mic, you know what I'm saying? And DJ Ice was really good with the mic. He had a really strong mic presence. So he pretty much was on the mic most of the night, you know what I'm saying? But we kind of alternate with that as well. But through the course of the night, we just take turns, man, and rotate. And what we try to do was make it fun. We wanted to have it like a party atmosphere. So you saw about 3 or 4 DJs up there rocking, taking turns, and just having fun through the course of the night. You know what I'm saying? And you know, of course, you're going to get your people coming up there, you know, around the table, see who's doing this, who's doing that. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that's what we did. I mean, we turned the party out. We did what we did, and it was good for us. Mm-hmm. You know, MKM was like a household name back then.
Mm-hmm. So as far as skills is concerned, how often did you cultivate your skills? Were you on the tables every day? Did you guys get together and work out routines to make it tighter, what you were doing?
We had our days where we pretty much practiced a lot. As far as routines go, it was pretty much like all of us didn't like show each other routines in our face, like especially if you had something that you wanted to break out at a party, you wouldn't really let nobody else see it until that day came at the event, and you would just bust it out, you know. But for as us practicing, yeah, we did that like almost every day, because like I said, once again, we were young kids, and that kind of like really, you know, kept us from not being in the streets. You know, that music would kind of kept us motivated, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't in the streets doing crazy stuff, you know what I'm saying? I think that music definitely saved us from being out there doing crazy stuff, you know? So that right there, I would definitely say, towards us, man, we just rocked out and vibed off each other. That's what we pretty much did.
Mm-hmm. So how important is it for a DJ to have skills? Because today you can use the Serato system and press a button and it can sync the beats tight for you. How important is it for a DJ to have skills through practice, through dedication? And is that what sets DJs who are successful away from those who aren't?
I would definitely say yes, especially if you're talking about the 80s and early 90s, definitely had to have skills. That was priority, you know, because that right there was that's the standard, you know what I'm saying? So you can tell if somebody got on the turntables and they ain't had no skills. That was like, oh man, this dude need to go back home and practice, you know what I'm saying? So if you got your practice and you got your cuts and your blends and your mixes together, I mean, you was that dude, you know what I'm saying? So that right there, you know, that spoke volumes in the hood, who was dope and who wasn't dope. So, you know, skills definitely, you know, that set the pace right there. You got to have them skills in the 80s and the early 90s, you know. Well, I want to say 80s and all through the 90s.
Mm-hmm. So as far as the music selection, was it mix orders? Or was it what you felt by what the audience, they're ready for this record? Did you have a preset, the main set, and alternative records that could drop into the main set? Or was it just a feel for the audience, the crowd?
Well, it just depends on the event. Like if you're doing the event for like around our age at the time, in early 20s and late teens, I mean, you pretty much can just build. You pretty much can build off the crowd and take them where you want to take them. You know what I'm saying? But if you're doing a different type of event, like I want to say maybe some type of an older set for us, a cabaret would pretty much be an older event for us. So for something like that, you would need those go-to records, you know what I'm saying, to kind of get the crowd to go where you want them to go. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it basically depends on the event that you're doing.
Okay.
At that time.
So okay, at that time. Top 5 records. You can mix any era. Top 5 records that are guaranteed to make the party jump. You can mix eras.
Where in Cleveland?
Well, you have the blessing of being in North Carolina, so you can mix them, and Atlanta, so you can mix them, and the world,
okay,
and it's a nation.
The reason why I asked that, because in Cleveland we got a different sound. So
okay, let's break it up then. Let's break North Carolina and let's do Cleveland, and you can mix eras in both.
All right, so we're gonna go with Cleveland first.
Okay.
My top 5. Okay, you said I get to mix the different eras.
Different eras, all right. Because we'd be like top 5 80s, top 5 90s. We can mix era.
Okay, but definitely, if you want to go, I would say from the 80s. Definitely you're gonna rock the Einstein, Taking the Waterfront by Force, Suck MCs. Then we'll probably go into, if I was to hit the 90s, I'll definitely go into some Pac, some Tupac, some Biggie. You definitely got to hit some Bone Thugs up in there,
Okay.
And then if we want to move from the 90s up to the 2000s, you have to go in the Master P era, the Cash Money era. And then if we rocking out till today, which the BPMs is a lot slower today.
Okay.
But you got your NBA young boy out there, the baby, So I guess it just depends. You could kind of put them all in there though. But like I said, Cleveland is definitely a little different. If I was to go down here and do something down here where I'm at now in North Carolina, they 80s definitely is a little bit different.
Okay.
So I would say that, if I'm gonna go in the 80s down here, I could hit like some Kwame or some Father MC.
Really?
Some Strife. Then I can go from there. I can hit some go-go in there, and then I can go from the go-go scene to definitely Biggie. Definitely Biggie is big here. Some Jay-Z. From some Jay-Z from go up to today's type stuff again. Once I could hit them with some Fantasia, some the baby again. So NBA young boy, he hits hard down here as well. So I forgot about, you could hit the Cash Money and Master P era down here too.
Okay. Is it? Do you have to speed up like Detroit, like put the pitch bend up to +4 or +3, +2?
On some songs, yes. I would say some songs, yes. You will have to speed it up a little bit, but not a lot. Yeah, maybe 1 or something. I wouldn't say 2 or 3, but definitely 1. You're going to speed it up a little bit.
So in Cleveland, it's straight hip hop all the way through at the party until at the end where you put on the slow song, right? But in North Carolina,
now it is. But back in the day, we played slow songs through the course of the night. You know what I'm saying? We was trying to grind. We was trying to come up with something back in the 80s and the 90s, right?
Oh, okay, okay. But in North Carolina, you can mix in R&B within the fast mix, and then still keep dancing.
Oh yeah, yeah. You could do all that down here. I mean, you even can like you could play like old stuff at the parties here. Like I done been to some parties where I call them the Thundercats. You know, like the 21 parties. You know, they dance to some of the older songs. You know, in their parties, and as well as the songs that's out today. Mm-hmm. So I would say that's a little different compared to Cleveland, because I think Cleveland, you got to play all the new stuff at the little Thundercat parties. You know, you won't be able to play no old stuff in the events. Got to be all new.
It's got to. Okay, let's talk about that for a
minute. Here they
kind
of mix it up.
Let's talk about the psychology of that. What is it about the Clevelander and the North Carolinian? What's the difference as far as, is it because the elders aren't teaching in Cleveland the youth about the classic records, or are the youth on a rebellious period where they say, we only want our era? What is it? What's the difference between North and Cleveland?
From what I've seen, from what I've witnessed, it's the music is totally different. You know, I can't really pinpoint it because it was that way before I got here.
Okay.
But there is a big difference in the music, you know. So for you to learn both, you know what I'm saying, you got to just get out there and witness it. You know, it's nothing that I could really pinpoint. Like I said, it was that way before I got here. So I just try to check it out and see, you know, what I can learn from it.
Mm-hmm. So you land in North Carolina, and what was the germination that brought you to Regime Squad DJs? How did that develop? We lost your picture here for a second. There we go. You're back.
Okay. I'm sorry. Say it again.
I said, you land in North Carolina. You moved from Cleveland to North Carolina. What was the germination? What was the initiation point that kicked off Regime Squad DJs?
Okay. How did that come about?
Yeah.
All right. Well, when I left Cleveland, I was already in a group called the Dynasty DJs. That was the last group that I pretty much was in before I got here in Charlotte. So I started the Dynasty DJs, and I pretty much got down here to Charlotte. So when I got down here to Charlotte, you know, I kind of, you know, moved on from the Dynasty DJs and started this Regime Squad DJs. I was like, you know what? I said, okay, this is it for us crews. This will be my last crew, and I want to do something different. So I said, I've been in Cleveland all my life. I'm down here in Charlotte. You know, I'm starting a new chapter. So I want to do something different. So what I did was kind of got on the phone with different DJs that I knew that was in different cities. So I reached out to them, and I said, yo, let's put something together, man. Let's see how we can iron this out, because at the end of the day, I never DJ'd in your city, you never DJ'd in my city, and you know, so forth. So everybody that I talked to about that at the time they said, man, that's a good idea. They said, yeah, I never DJ'd out of my city. Let's try this. Let's see what can we do to make that happen. So, and by the way, it's called Regime Squad. Regime Squad DJs.
Regime.
So, that was that's how that came about. You know what I'm saying?
Centipede,
So
P.
this was the
P.
the last squad for me. I mean, well, this is the last group that I'm working with. So I said I want to make this official, try something different, and I just didn't want to be stagnant in the same city, you know, doing parties. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to just DJ in different areas, and I thought a few of the guys that I reached out to, they was on the same page that I was on. It's like, yeah, man, shit. Let's go ahead on and let's rock out of some other cities. And that's what we did, you know, so that's what we're doing now.
Okay. And then so on your advertisement, it's Cleveland, North Carolina, Atlanta. How many other cities have you built upon?
Okay, so we got Cleveland, Atlanta, Charlotte, and we have Arkansas. So those are the 4 cities that we got right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Arkansas, Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Mm-hmm. So are you looking for more DJs to join from different cities? And
oh yeah, absolutely, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to just travel, man. We're not trying to stay stagnant. I think, and what's good for this for my group is that we're learning from each other, because, you know, once again, music is different in different areas. So when I go to your city, I need to know what they rocking to there, and I'm gonna tell you what we're rocking to here in our city. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, more cities, the better it is for us, because we're trying to just rotate and do what we can do and keep it hot wherever we go.
Okay, so how do they get in contact? They're a DJ. They want to submit their live performance video to you. How do they get in contact you for that?
Yeah, well, I'm DJ Centipede on all social media. Well, that's the word DJ. DEEJAY Centipede on all social media. You can contact me that way. Yeah, send me something, man. Let's talk about it. Let's see what we can do. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to get to your city like you're trying to get to mine. So let's make it work.
That's ingenious, P. I'm going to tell you, that's ingenious. Okay, let's get to the music, because you're producing music. And I had one of your songs on the film review, music review show, features, I guess, an artist from North Carolina and an artist from Cleveland, Ohio. Am I right about that? Or are both artists from Cleveland?
Well, you're halfway right. We have an artist from Cleveland on there, which is Nisha Nee.
Okay.
And we got an artist out of there that's from Texas on there, which is Dolo Dollars. Mm-hmm. And the name of the song is called Road Running.
Right. And you produced the track.
No, I pretty much helped put it together. I didn't do the whole thing, but I kind of put it together, and it's my idea. So I came up with the concept and everything and made it work.
Okay, so you're the executive. Okay. So this is going to be a 2-part question, which leads into why you decided to start produce music. What makes a jamming party record that keeps the dance floor ass to elbow, as the late great Vaughn Mason would say, bounce, rock, skate, roll? When I interviewed him, that was his last interview. But what makes a record ass to elbow, makes the DJ's life easier, working to make sure that the dance floor stays packed? And did you use that knowledge to create these jams?
For me, since, you know, I'm not a young kid, so for me, it definitely has to be a BPM that is going to pretty much have you dancing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not trying to, you know, sound negative towards the younger crowd, but I mean, as you know, their BPMs are a lot slower than what we're used to dancing to our age. So if you got a song that's going to make you pretty much move on that dance floor, you know what I'm saying? That you just out there getting it in, that's what you looking for. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep people on the floor. You want to have, especially the females, the women, you definitely want them out there. Because the guys, they pretty much gonna just get out there because they're girls out there, or they want to, you know, meet somebody, right? So you want that BPM up there and sounding good, you know what I'm saying? So definitely that's where I'm at, you know what I'm saying? It depends on that beat, you know what I'm saying? You need that bass bumping, you need a nice BPM, you know what I'm saying? So
what would that be?
You want something that's gonna make you move a little bit and groove, you know what I'm saying? We from that old school era. That's what we grew up on, you know what I'm saying? So we want to keep it in that realm.
Okay, so for the artist producing, you're a DJ, what is that BPM? You talked about the bass, you talked about the drum construction. What's that BPM?
Well, for me, I would say definitely something between the 80s and the 90s and up. Nothing lower than that.
Nothing lower than that. No 75s. No slow records.
Well, I mean, you know, you can go that route because, you know, like road running is pretty much like in that era, but road running is not pretty much per se a club song. It's pretty much, you know, you out there, something you can ride to. You know what I'm saying? That's what road running is. But if you're trying to look for that club banger, you want to go with, you know, anything that's 80 BPMs and up, I would say. Okay.
So road running, where can they pick it up at?
Oh, they can get that at Crazy D's Music Palace, off on Lee Harvard and
Warrensville. But anyway, that's good. That's good. No, but where can they digitally? Because we're in the digital age now, you know. So where can they pick that up at?
Man, they could get that at any place where they buy digital music at. You know, it's everywhere. You know, wherever they want to get it. The only thing they gotta do is type in road running DJ Centipede, it'll pop up. Wherever they download music at, wherever they stream at.
Okay, so let's talk about the second single. What's it called? And this is the club banger. This is the North Carolina style of dance floor, packed ass to elbow. So let's talk about that single. How did you develop it? And tell us the whole story on it.
Okay, well, this song is called Twerk It Out, and it's pretty much based on the New Orleans bounce. It's pretty much catered to a summer anthem. That's what we're looking at for it to be. You know, the next summer anthem. We're trying to get the girls out there twerking. You know what I'm saying? So that's what this is catered to. You know, it got the heavy bass line and it got that New Orleans bounce feel. So this is something that you know, I could see the girls out there twerking to this. You know, this is something you want to play at the pool parties. This is something that you want to, you know, play out there at the clubs. You know what I'm saying? So if we ever get back to being normal again, you know, this song is what's gonna get that party jumping.
Now, who's the artist on it?
All right, yeah, Twerk It Out is two artists out of Cleveland, Ohio. T Hova, she's an upcoming artist. She's pretty dope, and Sonny Vieira. That's my little nephew right there. He's pretty dope. So they both out of Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, and so where can they pick this up digitally?
Hey, all of my music is wherever they stream at. YouTube, you know, if you want to go to Spotify, you know, if you want to go to Google Play, if you want to, it's all over, man. Wherever you stream at is there. Just type in DJ Centipede, and it's, Twerk It Out or Road Running is there.
Mm. So how does it feel? Because we start from cassette, vinyl, CD, now to the digital. How does it feel to have a record that can hit all the way around the world from a click of a button? How's that feel?
Amazing. This is the only reason why I think I did this so long. I mean, I always wanted to do music when I was younger, but I just didn't know how to go about it. So I can say that, it's the way it's set up for the independent artists now. I think it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yes, you still gotta do some work. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be handed out to you on silver platter. You got to put that work in. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's much easier than trying to sell records, sell cassettes, CDs, or 8-tracks, whatever we had to sell back in the day. We don't have to do that no more. So I think this is the best right here for any independent artist that's trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't ask for nothing better. This is it for me.
And Billboard just added a new category called YouTube streams, right? So that means that if the artist is streamed, they're on Billboard. You put a video up, the way YouTube connects to the artist, you get not only the advertisement, but you also get Billboard placement. I mean, this is the Wild Wild West.
See, I didn't even know that part. So
just came.
Hey, that's dope. That's what I'm saying. It's dope.
That means that all people.
Like I said, you got to put your work in to find out what's available to you and what's not. But just finding that out from you. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's this music game right now, man. I look at it like the sky's the limit right now, because you can actually make it this route compared to being, a major artist. I remember when I was growing up, it was like, being an independent artist, it was hard work, and also to really make it, you had to be, signed to a record label or something. You don't even need a record label now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm loving it like it is now.
Yeah, that's what. There's a guy out here named B. Timms. He used to play Bazap. He was in one of the original members, not the secondary group now. But he said that Prince in the 90s in Atlanta got all the different groups together, TLC, etc., and he sat them in the room. He said that in these decades to come, they're not going to be looking for the label. They're going to be looking for your brand, for you. So you need to prepare and have it out. And sure enough, this is the way it is. Digital streaming. They're looking for that brand. They're looking for that DJ Centipede, right? So, I mean, it's amazing. Prince was an innovator, ahead of his time. He had his digital platform in the early 90s before anyone else, so this is the way it is, right? So are you looking for artists? Are you going to turn this into a imprint on the digital streaming sites where you look for other artists?
Definitely, I'm definitely looking for other artists, to collab with. I'm not, trying to sign anyone or anything like that. I'm just definitely looking for artists to do, collabs with, so
okay.
That's where I'm at, with my music thing. I'm definitely looking for different artists to collab with.
Okay. So tell them the name of the 2 singles again. They can get them on all streaming platforms, and how to get in contact with you. People calling you. I can hear it loud too.
Hold on 1 second, man. Hold on one second.
Oh my.
Hello? Hey. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
Okay, people.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Can
Can
you
you
hear
hear
me?
me?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I can
Okay.
hear
Yeah.
you.
The
So
name
just
of the
slow.
singles is "Road Running" and "Twerk It Out."
Uh-huh.
They are available at all digital platforms. So wherever you stream at, that's where you can stream at them. You can find the singles there.
That's
Just type
Tidal.
in
That's
DJ.
Tidal. That's Apple, Apple Music, everything, Spotify, etc., etc. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Just type in DJ. That's DEEJAY Centipede. Twerk It Out and Road Running, and that's where I'm at.
Okay, and contacts again.
Yeah, contacts is DJ Centipede on all social media. That's DEEJAY Centipede on all social media.
Wow, I can't believe that we went an hour already, and that's the end of the program. How about that? So listen, I'd like to thank Centipede. He's our first DJ on Let's Talk DJing. Of course, we're looking for more DJs to come on. So all you have to do is just submit to Lordlandenterprises at hotmail.com. That's Lordlandenterprises at hotmail.com. We'll schedule you in. You'll come on. You'll talk your history, talk hip hop, talk about music, skills, technique, and what it takes to rock a party. And we'll, how can we say, chronicle and archive who you are as a DJ. So we'd like to thank DJ Centipede for coming on. Wrapping up just in time, I think. So, any last words?
Hey, once again, Lord D, man, I want to just say thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate this, man. I'm definitely going to be in touch with you because I'm definitely trying to get out there where you at in Vegas. So we'll be in touch. But once again, man, thank you so much for this, man. I really appreciate this. And, man, y'all stay up, man. You know what I'm saying? Follow me, man. Follow me on all social media. DJ Centipede.
And that's it. He's out. Peace. All right, people.
Peace.
So, look. That was the first episode of TFR DJing, right? Let me go here and cut this. There we go. The color bars come up every time. So listen. I often reference the late great Vaughn Mason, jamming big guitar, bounce rock, skate roll, etc. And we did one interview. We didn't know that this was going to be his last extensive interview, but he did it with the film review on the road. You can hear it on the Film Review Live channel. You can watch it and hear it on the Film Review Live channel on YouTube. Right? That's Pede calling me. I'm gonna gotta call you back in a second. So look, we're gonna play this real quick. We're gonna play this piece from him. Let me hold this up real quick. So this is Vaughn Mason talking about what it takes to make sure that a record, the formula, he gives the formula of making a record to make the dance floor ass to elbow, and what matters and what doesn't matter. So as we close out the show, we're gonna end with this right here.
Unless you got money to pay somebody to play your fucking record, you want the DJs to break it. And when a DJ is in a club playing a song, and I'm going to ask you, when you have a DJ playing in a club and the dance floor is ass to elbow with people dancing, tell me what he's doing. While that's happening, what's he doing in the DJ booth?
Oh, he's figuring out the next records is going to keep the floor ass to elbow.
Thank you. And most people don't get it. So what now I give him one of my songs that has no feel of any song that's happening on the charts, in the clubs, or whatever. You have to do your homework. When I go to a club, I'm looking at, oh, he put that record on and Jesus Christ, the dance floor got ass to elbow. He put this other song on and it didn't. I don't want that song. But I go to Billboard magazine, it'll tell you what to play. Anyway, that said, you're absolutely correct. So why am I going to give you a record that, how can he mix this in? A DJ is working. He's trying to find tools that he can play and make the dance floor stay packed. The last thing a DJ wants to see is the floor not to get ass to elbow. So why are you going to give him some creative crap that has nothing to do, that's musical? Nobody gives a shit about music. Whoop, there it is. You've heard it 100 times. You couldn't tell me what the next line is. But if you played that groove, so let's take that song. Whoop, whatever that groove is to whoop, there it is, you can't copyright that beat or the feel of that. You can't copyright whatever, if it goes bop, boop, boop, bop. I mean, come on, that's freestyle music all day long. Cynthia and Lisa had that same.
You can't stop the music too. I mean,
right.
Can't stop the music. Right.
But I locked in when I did bounce, rock, skate, roll. The drummer, there was no MIDI, there was no electronics. The drummer actually played to hearing Good Times in his headphones.